That's awesome. It's like that hardcore.
They typically think
I'm usually not
water cleanup. They wouldn't be wrong.
into that so much. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Think you know how this is gonna go? Think again.
With 1 day left to go,
Oh, no.
both candidates are doing
That'd be
everything
Jeff.
in their power to win. Powerful states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, Minnesota, etc. Joe Biden himself has been campaigning, but he's going to need some
Runescape,
help.
indeed.
Fortunately from him, he's getting help from one of the most powerful Democrat players alive
up, man? How's it
today,
going?
Mr. Former President Barack Obama. Unfortunately, no amount of
Jay Smash,
charisma
how's it
from
been?
someone else will justify why
How's Twitch been without me? Dude, it sucks, man. I'm tired. I'm sick of getting suspended for unknown reasons. Well, I guess I knew the first one. I think the first reason was stupid, but this one I have no idea what was said. Tomorrow will be a day for the ages. Oh man, polls are... Twitch has been dead. Dude, and why? Like, because there's been so much stuff going on. The talks, the stories. Why would it be dead? This is the time for political speakers or political streamers like myself to be on there. And I would be on there. I'd be friggin' killing it right now. I'd be on Twitch all day long. if I wasn't suspended. Unless they just don't, like, even for leftist streamers, has it been dead for leftist streamers? Or because I have a little bit of a conspiracy in my head that they were probably trying to silence people on the right, but I mean, there's not many. Ooh, I feel like there's not many right-leaning speakers on Twitch. I feel like I'm in Odyssey. This is my chance. This is your chance for what? This chance. Do your dance, yeah. Girl, shake that thing. Whatever that song was by Eminem. But what is this your chance for? I don't get it. Oh, level 15. Dude, RuneScape, Iron Man. Oh man, it's ridiculous. I can't trade with people. I have waited 4 long years. Okay, I get that. But like, what is this your chance to vote? This will be historical witness me. I'm excited. I'm excited for what tomorrow will bring. Oh, I got level 15, so I can actually do iron now. So I need to go do Doric's quest. History books will be written about tomorrow. You think there's going to be any violence? Well done, you completed easy task in Veracare. Oh, yeah. Played a role in the biggest event. I think there will be other events that will probably dwarf this one. Like, usually it's a conflict. But a conflict may arise from this, that's the whole point. That's what I'm saying, I think there's going to be violence. People are boarding up Washington D.C. area. Stores are boarding up their windows. They're locking stuff down tight. Let me tell you, it's not because they think of right-leaning groups are going to attack them. Dude, you need to come watch me on D-Live. It's just been dead on there, so that's why I'm doing YouTube. I think I need 4 of these bad boys.
Joe Biden should actually be president. And at a recent rally, they said, the Daily Mail reports, the man who could be America's next president in 3 days. Barack Obama had to call Joe Biden 3 times before he finally emerged at Michigan rally, then had to remind him to put his mask back on and help guide him off the stage.
Oh, Christ.
This guy might be president.
Let me see.
My friends, Joe Biden
Dude, I thought
has
you had
offered
me on
this
there.
country something real.
What's ahead?
Something tangible. And I know many people might be saying, Tim, Donald Trump must win. Okay, but Donald Trump has not offered us what Joe Biden is. Joe Biden has promised to mobilize true and unashamed pressure and said that Medicare care is a right for everyone in this country. And that's something Trump can't bring us. You know why? Because Trump doesn't know what it is, and neither do I. But I'm really interested in finding out what it means to mobilize true and unashamed pressure. And I'm really interested to see what this new dang-fangled Medicare care really is.
It's...
Ladies and gentlemen,
Triple S Cinco.
Barack Obama had to help guide Joe Biden off stage. Why? Because he is a fumbly, bumbly grandpa old man. Come on.
I'm so low on the totem pole for YouTube. I'm not afraid to put it out there.
It's sad. We all get old. And and I mean this in no disrespect to Joe Biden, his life and his legacy, maybe a little bit because I'm not a fan of his warmongering with Barack Obama, but you got old grandpa up on stage. He doesn't know what's going on. You got to call his name several times. And please explain to me how it is that a man who has gone up on stage and said he will mobilize Truman Inanna Shaba de Pressure is going to become president. Here's my...
that was good.
I'm going to say it. I'm just going to say it. If Joe Biden gets elected, it proves that we are a nation of idiots. If Donald Trump gets elected, it proves we're a nation of a-holes. That's just the way I see it. If you want to be... Look, the people who vote for Donald Trump are doing it because he really is going to help this country. He really did bolster the economy, secure our borders, and bring back manufacturing jobs.
Run.
Far from perfect, but man, is this guy a dick. It's true, and it shows that many people in America, not all of them, are rolling their eyes saying, okay, well, Trump is the best choice we have. But to vote for someone like that is to vote for a guy who's kind of a dick. And that's probably an understatement.
That's fine.
But I'd
I can
rather
deal
be,
with that.
you know what I said on Twitter? I'd rather be an a-hole. I'd rather vote for the a-hole than the coward. You know, and I called Joe Biden a coward because he's hiding in his basement while these riots are kicking off. But I'll tell you right now, as most of you know, Donald Trump's not even really running against Joe Biden. And that's why people would vote for him. People are running against the mainstream media. And that's the reality of it. It's the mainstream media. The things they say. As Matt Taibbi wrote today, Donald Trump is the most lying president, but the most lied about president. And I think that's a fair statement. But I got to say, you know, when they say that he's like Trump lies the most out of any president, he lies about dumb things. You know, Gad Saad, if you follow him, he's on Joe Rogan, and he's like, Donald Trump lies about like all the women love me and I come in and they're hugging me and I got the biggest, you know, whatever. You know, that's what Gad Saad said. And that's it. Trump lies about stupid things, but the media lies about important things.
He's an embellisher for sure.
They are propping up a man who is just, as The Atlantic put it, corporeal form. That's what they said. The Atlantic said, stay alive, Joe Biden. We only need your corporeal form. Then why didn't you run literally anyone else? I'll take a Buttigieg. Come on. Nope. Maybe it's because they know they're going to lose and they don't want to waste a fresh-faced, up-and-coming young star on an election they can't win. But the polls are saying Donald Trump's going to lose, and there's a handful of it is a minority of forecasts predicting a Donald Trump victory. I don't know if y'all have seen the video, but there's a really funny video of this like young woman doing an astrology reading and giving all of her reasons, like the seventh axis of Joe Biden is in eclipse, which coincides with victory, and Kamala Harris too, and her something is spiking. And then she's like, and Jupiter and Mercury are like in alignment, and that means there's going to be a revolution. I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know nothing about this astrology stuff, but I got to tell you, it makes more sense, and I mean this literally, it's more convincing than anything I've heard from any of these polls. My experience in my life, when I go around and talk to people, is people leaving the Democratic Party to join the Republicans. And these are regular people I live by. These are regular people in my neighborhood. Now, I will say, there was a Blue Lives Matter flag near where I live. And then after the debate, it was gone. The first debate, it was gone. And instead, the next door neighbor had a Biden sign.
I mean, I don't know.
I wonder if that has, I wonder what that means.
Either one will
Maybe
be
there
pretty
really
dead.
are more
Pretty much
Democrats
either
leaving and
it's
voting
only
for Joe Biden, but I just can't
for
buy
YouTube.
it.
It's only
Because
you
I don't believe
and,
we're a nation of idiots.
Kim that
like,
still come and talk
think about
to me.
this way.
On D Live, I really
Joe
haven't
Biden's,
had
my
anyone
understanding,
engage with
would
me
be the
yet,
first
so.
president with no coalition.
D Live just doesn't have
with no active base.
the numbers of people that Twitch does.
Think about it. Every president has had their fervent base of supporters. Every president. Okay, maybe not every president, but in modern history, there were groups of people like, yes, this person is my candidate. Not Joe Biden. Sorry. It's the media versus Trump, and it's people who think I hate Trump, or Trump is not that bad, or I like Trump. The question is, will the hatred for Trump result in a president who can't speak English? I got to be honest with you. I will laugh, and I really mean it. If Joe Biden wins, I'm going to put my feet up, and I'm going to laugh, same as I laughed in 2016 when Trump won. I am worried. I am worried because a Joe Biden victory, there's a lot of reasons to believe Joe Biden's going to win. We'll see. A Joe Biden victory
I have that
would mean that
exact
we have
stuff.
decided our commander-in-chief should be an ineffective, sleepy old man
Out of
who
pure
needs help getting
coincidence,
off of a
despite
stage,
definitely not
misses
knowing
his
what you're
cue,
about to request.
and
I
can't
just
say
happen to have
words.
carried those
I'm
exact items.
really excited, right? Truin Inanna Shaba DePrisure.
Nice.
I listened to him say that over and over again to make sure I heard, and I transcribed it. And he says, we believe that Badakath care is a right. Badakath care. Badakath care. I have no idea what these words mean, but just think about how awesome this is. Joe Biden's going to be sitting down with like Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, and he's going to be like, you know, eyes half closed, and then, you know, Vladimir's going to be like, we want to place strategic nukes all over the Pacific Ocean in atoll base built by China. And then then Joe Biden's going to be like, and they're going to be like, uh-huh. And that's it. That's our leader. That's our commander-in-chief. True and not a shot of pressure. I love it. Okay. Well, the reality is, it's not just about Joe Biden. It's about who are we really up against right now.
Well, yeah, so
the media.
I
Let me show you
beat
something.
one of the extra areas.
I got this really great story.
The one with
from
the robot
Politico
scorpions
magazine.
and
the
like
worst political predictions of
do you call it?
2016. It was another rocky year
big
for the
circle
political
area.
sages.
Futuristic. You're
This
talking
is from
to the
December
brains.
28th, 2016.
I accidentally
wanna
beat
show
the
you
game. I thought you
the
could continue
journalists
playing
getting
after you
mocked
beat the
for
game, but I
being
guess not.
Wrong. Before I do, however, I want to show you Real Clear Politics. Now, Real Clear Politics is not leftist. I mean, they ran a bunch of stories defending Trump in the Ukraine scandal, and now they're running this story from Bill
I'll
Scher.
probably have to go back
Biden will win.
to one of my earlier
Republicans should
saves.
understand why.
And then,
In this story, he goes through all of the things that have changed
that's
since
the dumb
2016.
One. Yeah, that one was
And they're
kind
good
of long
points.
and like not
Look,
as
people
interesting.
really
There's way
hated
too much
Hillary
dialogue.
Clinton, like loathed, despised Hillary Clinton, and they were still she wins the popular vote. Joe Biden's nothing. I think what we're seeing in this election is unprecedented. They want fumbly bumbly Joe. They want the old man being guided off stage.
Still
You know
need to
why?
do them, so I gotta
you
go.
can't get mad.
Like I said,
about it.
I beat the game because I
you
thought
can be mad that our
you could
president
just
is going to
continue
our
on playing,
president
but
will
I-
be
you can't.
incapable of functioning. Well, that's why they gave us
And
Kamala Harris, who
so
everyone seems to hate. But hey,
I gotta
better than nothing.
reload, and I want
Here's
to
what
go
I
play
think
the
they're
rest
thinking.
or those other three.
We don't want to put up a candidate who actually has to go up against Trump. We want a paper tiger. We want a man made of straw. Not like a straw man, but like a literal, like a scarecrow. That's all Joe Biden is. A scarecrow for the Democratic Party.
When you're on Twitch, you should
don't
try to
vote
get
for Trump. At least this guy's standing up and put on a post.
You should try to get
The
some of the
idea
other
is,
people like, hey,
with Joe Biden
Cinco's
running,
gonna be streaming
you're
over
not
here.
voting for him. You're voting against Trump, and you're putting in nothing. Vanilla yogurt. Nothing.
I'll
Now,
have
it's
you
really
on
bad
because
for
I'm
us in a
not
lot of
like
ways.
I'm not
But
gonna
what
lie,
they'll
I'm
do
not
is
really
they'll
was
put
worried
Joe
about
Biden
you
in the wheelchair.
saying
They'll cart
anything.
him off into the sunroom, and he'll
But,
put,
like,
put a
with
little
Twitch,
burlap bag or whatever.
I got
on his,
suspended
on
for
his
something
lap,
I don't
and he'll
even
fall
know.
asleep and snore.
Hate towards
while
a
the
certain
cabinet
group.
administration
So
take care of
technically,
all
I could
the
have
duties of the
someone on
presidency.
talking, and
Joe Biden,
they
the
say
biggest concern
something
is
like
will he
anything,
actually
any
make
word
it?
that could be considered offensive
You know,
to anybody
beyond
else.
the first term.
And
I'm not entirely convinced. You know, and I want to be serious for a second. Ask anyone.
And
who's
you're
got
like,
any
also I'm
experience
being
dealing with the
banned
elderly.
for hate.
What true
So
and
I don't
shopping
know
of pressure and bad
how
accounts
bad-
represent. And I'm not being silly.
I don't know how bad D Live is compared to that. I don't think they would be. Just because I don't think they're going to be near as hard on. Oh shoot! I accidentally hit the button. I don't think they're going to be near hard on their people because they don't have near as many content creators in the first place. But send a few over. Nice. Yeah, if I could just get a few people to come over and like some of the strong talkers, like which Base follows me on D Live, but I haven't got him to come over there and talk to me. But yeah, just to make it interesting, because right now it's so dead on D Live. It's very dead. It's kind of rough getting online and making a stream. And I mean, I did it with Twitch for like the first few weeks where I was just streaming for hours and no one even like talks to you or engages with you. You're just sitting there going, God. And so now I'm starting all over with D Live, and that's happening. So it kind of sucks.
Right now. I know. Funny words. No, it represents the man's cognitive decline, which has been accelerating. It's one thing when the man stutters and stumbles, and they say, oh, he was fighting off a stutter since he was a kid. No, dude. He's nearing 80 years old, and he's struggling to speak. The man is not up to the task. People will tell you the rate of cognitive decline of Joe Biden seems fairly obvious. Donald Trump, whoo, that man is spry. He's doing he went to 5 states in one day or some ridiculous number like that. Is that what he did? 5 states in one day? What is this? The dude has got more energy than I do. Well, maybe not more than me, but a lot of people. I work 16-hour days, so it's probably unfair for me to claim Trump has more energy than I do, but comparable, to say the least. Or maybe.
Sucks.
I mean, I get tired. This dude seems to be, I don't know if Trump's on uppers or what's he doing, but man, the guy's got energy. Something Joe Biden does not have. Well, let me show you the story.
YouTube was way better. Now
Joe Biden is going to win.
Independent YouTubers.
I've been wrong before. I will be wrong again.
That's
and
basically how it is.
Today, but we do not.
With these platforms where it was about the content creators more and they had more power, but now since they become the monopoly of the whole scheme, they don't have near as much power. Like, and I mean, with D Live, at least like they have this how their economy is basically kind of set up on D Live is interesting, where Twitch takes 50% of the profits that you make as a content creator, and D Live takes 75%, but the other 25% it doesn't go to anyone. It's like running the business itself. It's like they explain it in their little how their website how it's all set up, but it goes back like into the community, like that the viewers get so much of this certain type of currency, and then content creators have a way of actually rewarding their viewers and the people that interact with their channel a lot. So because they naturally build up this like the more people watch and engage with their channel, the more is like basically like a little loot box that they get full of the lemons, which is basically like the bit that it automatically builds up, and from my understanding that's the 25% of all the people that give to the content creators. That's what is that natural buildup that people get to use and give back to their viewers. So it's like a little loot box that they get to reward their viewers with. So it's kind of cool. It's interesting. It's less corporatism than Twitch is.
Have any significant data to suggest Donald Trump was ever in a position to win re-election, or that he is closing the campaign with any sort of momentum needed for a come from behind victory.
Gotta just do
4 years ago,
streams
we
in
did
the
have that
Fallout
data.
category.
In the Real Clear Politics national polling average, Hillary Clinton's lead shrunk nearly 6 points.
It's got to be a game like RuneScape would be a good one to do politics in, because I can sit there, read the chat,
support throughout the
play the game, click
of
here,
the general
click
election
there,
campaign, never reached
and still be involved in the
an
conversation.
indication of soft support. Moreover, the Trump train was clearly accelerating in those final 2 weeks. If you looked at RCP state poll averages, Clinton's Michigan lead plummeted from 10 to 3.6 points, and her Pennsylvania lead narrowed from 5.6 to 2.1. In Florida and North Carolina, Trump erased Clinton's small leads completely to become, however barely, the frontrunner. Trump also took the lead in Ohio in mid-October and never looked back. I want to point something out. We're going to see historic voter turnout. Even when the economy was doing really, really well.
Wait, what?
Moody's Analytics said, if the Democrats can muster historic voter turnout, they will win by 9 electoral votes. Low information voters will vote Democrat. First-time voters. Stands to reason the Democrats have that, and you also have the COVID crisis.
Internet
there's good reason to believe the Democrats will win.
He wants everything
now,
to be free.
I'm no one's fool.
Yeah,
I'm not going
what
to be
is he?
stupid
He considers
enough
himself.
to
He's
sit here and
socially
say, I know
social.
what's going to happen, because this guy certainly
issues. He's conservative economically.
It's a 50-50 shot
he's,
on paper. But we don't know what the actual stats are.
Isn't that basically
this guy's
what his
probably looking at
standpoint
polls
is?
and saying it's a 90% chance I'm right. I'm gonna fire it. I'm gonna take a shot.
I get internet so mad
Maybe
at
he's right.
Biden supporters.
I'm not playing that game. I am not so sure. You know why? Because we
socially
know from
conservative
2016
and
the mistakes they've
economically
made.
lefty.
We have a whole list of all of the things they got wrong. So why should I be convinced that Trump is going to lose? What if Trump wins through legal disputes, technicalities? What are you going to do? Oh, I wasn't wrong. It's just Trump. No, you don't.
You realize a lot of people
you have no idea
share
what's
stuff
happen.
like him, where like they
fair,
don't agree all with the right or all with the left, and a lot
we
of
don't know how legal
somewhere.
disputes will play out, how mail-in voting disputes will play out. It looks like, based on polling, Biden will win, but maybe that's why Donald Trump will win. My friends,
He wants to boss you around
Take
in
a
your
look.
personal life and
first
take all your
prediction.
money.
Hillary Clinton will be president. Frank Luntz on Twitter, November 8th, 2016. Hillary Clinton will be the next president of the United States. Frankie boy. I think you do good
that
work
makes
for the most part, but you
what
were
it seems
wrong
like is
about that.
you, from that statement right
You
there,
see, people thought they were
you
safe.
would want it to be more
the models
libertarian.
were forecasting a heavy Hillary win. They were wrong. Did these people learn their lesson? No. They got Florida wrong in 2018, 2 years later. I'm not playing games with y'all. I have no idea who's going to win, nor am I ever going to be stupid enough to claim Trump will win. In the past several videos I've done on my main channel, I've said, forecast says Trump is going to win. Here's why Trump might win. And the point
says
is,
casual
the
sex
mainstream
is
media
bad.
only gives you the forecasts, for the most part, showing
It
Trump
does
losing.
incur more risk.
And I think it's fair to point out there
I
are
would say
legitimate
it's
forecasts
better
and
to-
polls saying Trump is winning
not-
or can win. I believe the odds are against him, but we have the Republican surge model from
I
CBS
mean, I
showing
can't
Trump
say
winning
that
by
I
9 electoral
abided by
votes.
those.
The Republican surge model, I
Abided
kid you
by that
not, from
standard
CBS
myself
says if
whenever I
Trump
was
supporters
single,
vote,
but
he'll win. You think Trump
It
supporters
is
aren't going
better,
to go out
less
and vote?
risk
They're
of
driving around in
unwanted
cars, waving flags,
pregnancies,
screaming.
less risk of
Sure,
STDs.
maybe there'll be people who don't vote for whatever reason. If Trump supporters show up on
I just do
election
a
day,
douche
he wins.
Biden character.
Now, we don't know what's going to happen because of mail-in voting. There's an indeterminate amount of mail-in ballots that could appear randomly
Your
after
great
the election.
character since
Trump's
Twitch
going to probably
is
fight
dead.
those. We'll see what happens.
Jay
Here's the
Smash,
next
you tell me
prediction.
you're
Trump
libertarian this whole
won't be the
time, but you
Republican
just
nominee.
act like the
Dana
hardcore
Milbank,
lefty.
The Washington Post, October 2nd, 2015.
For some reason, I
quote,
don't buy it.
I'm so certain Trump won't win the nomination that I'll eat my words if he does. Literally. The day Trump clinches the nomination, I will eat the page on which this column is printed in Sunday's Post. Yikes, that was a bad one. See, I'm not going to do that. A lot of people are like, oh,
I
eat
got
my head if I do this.
330
No, because you're going to
GP,
have
I'm
to
getting
do
paid.
it. I can't see the future. I am not the smartest person in the world. I'm some dude reading the news, and I'll tell you this. I can't give you a definitive conclusion. You'd think
goal
I
is to
should
make
be able to
Dems
look at the
look as
polls
dumb
and
as
say,
possible
Trump will
to turn off butter.
lose, just like this guy will. Trump will lose. I can't tell you that. I can't.
I
have
don't
no
believe
idea.
it.
But I'm
Because
I'm pretty
that's
sure
literally
that
a
if Trump wins, someone will
conspiracy
take a
that's
clip
been
from
had
what I just said and play it and be like, aha, look, Tim
inside
said
my
Trump will
chat.
lose. He's wrong. No, I have no idea.
You understand? People have really
I look
said
at
that
these
about
polls,
you. Like,
and then
it's
I
like, I
see the
honestly think
uncertainty
Jay
and the
Smash is
fear
probably
in the eyes
a
of the pollsters saying,
more conservative person.
we're saying Trump could still
but
win. We have
he
no
just
idea.
wants to make the leftists look bad.
They have no idea, do they? Well, I don't know if she ever actually eating. In May, Milbank came through on his promise in what may have been the least humble way. He sought the assistance of readers,
There's no
acclaimed
fucking
chefs,
way it's
and
true.
food critics to make swallowing literal newsprint the most enjoyable it could be. Did he really do that? What is this story from the Washington Post? Did he really? He really. Bravo, good sir. Dana Milbank
How
literally
many?
cooked the page.
How many what? How many
of
times
his
we've
story
talked about that?
and
Of you
ate his own
possibly
words.
being a
Now,
mole?
I have to say,
It's
they're
been
saying it's the
several.
least humble way because he prepared a meal based on his own words. No. This is, in fact, I believe, the most respectful. Think about it. Of course, everybody wanted him just eat a raw piece of paper. No. I like that he put the work into it. This is amazing. Look at this guy. He put on the apron. He had a chef come in. They prepared. He went above and beyond as far as I'm concerned. That was awesome. Good job, Dana Milbank, eating your words because you were wrong. Bill Kristol said, there will be an independent candidate, an impressive one with a strong team and a real chance. I don't think that was the worst prediction. I think Gary Johnson made some mistakes, but he was polling really well in some polls. Like, I think he was over 5% in several polls. His average dropped down to around 4 or so. So maybe it's a bad prediction. But it's some of the best third party we've seen for a long time. The Republican National Convention will be contested, said John Kasich. Nobody's going to have the delegates they need going to the convention. Everyone will fall short. That was wrong. Women will form a firewall for Clinton against Trump. From the Washington Post, Daily 202. College-educated white women are Hillary Clinton's firewall. Wrong. Red states will go blue. Kyle Kondik, Politico Magazine, November 3rd, 2015. Carson and
can't
Trump,
believe Twitch is dead.
through their lack of experience and long histories of overheated rhetoric, could even prompt a wholesale rejection of the Republicans in certain districts down the ticket, effectively making 2016 a Democratic wave year. Quite the opposite. It's Republicans across the board. Now, I believe Republicans have let the people down. I do. They got nothing done with those 2 years. They could have funded everything.
I
They could
agree
have
with
done
that.
everything. They did not do it. Why? Don't ask me. because they're rhinos and dinos. Republicans in name only, Democrats in name only. They just mess around. To be fair, Kyle said it could even prompt. Sure. But I wonder, with everyone saying right now, Democrats will take the House, they'll take the Senate, Republicans are going to lose, Trump is going to lose. Is this going to be comeuppance for Republicans? Some seem to think so. Mitch McConnell's pushing through. He pushed through Amy Coney Barrett and said, at the next election, this is going to be undone.
Why? It's the election.
Sooner or later,
You
this will
thought-
be
you would
undone
think that-
by the next election. So
That it would be going nuts.
this they can't do anything about for a very long time. Oh, they'll pack the
What
courts,
the hell
maybe.
is
We'll see.
happening on Twitch?
But maybe Republicans think comeuppance
Everyone's
is
getting
here,
suspended.
and they got lucky with the time they had. I don't know. Perhaps. Perhaps people don't actually vote based on who they want. They vote based on
Dude,
if
go to
things
D-Live,
are
man.
bad
Start-
now, vote
start
for
checking
someone
out
else, which
D-Live
is
a
like
little
the
bit more.
stupidest thing ever. But Gallup says most people think they're doing better now. Would they want to go back to stagnation, or do they think that Joe Biden can maintain the economy as it is today? I think Joe Biden.
I wish I could do something to send all my Twitch followers, like
my
my 350 Twitch
Prediction.
followers, like, hey,
Hillary Clinton will
come to
defeat
fucking
Bernie
D-Live,
Sanders
we
in
can
the
have a
Michigan
conversation.
Democratic primary in a landslide. 538. Oh, Nate Silver. March 7th, 2016. Hillary Clinton has got a greater than 99% chance of winning the Michigan primary. You see, we talk about things being wrong. When we talk about the polls being wrong in 2016, what people don't realize is all of the polls they got wrong before and after. This was one of the biggest blunders 538 could have ever had. They say it should have been a warning sign for the Clinton campaign and for the data gurus when not a single poll in the entire state of Michigan had Bernie Sanders trailing
That's why
by
you need
less
to be on
than 5
Discord
points.
more.
But heading into March 8th, Team Clinton as well as the pundits nationwide were
I don't
confident
understand, like, what do you do on Discord?
Michigan would stay in Hillary's camp, thanks to her solid debate performance in Flint
That's true.
and her stronghold of African-American support. And yet the Democratic Socialist from Vermont, bolstered by
thought
a
I
record-high
created a
youth
page,
vote
but I don't-
and
I just
impressive
don't hardly
turnout of
ever use it,
independents,
so I'm just
pulled
so
off a surprising upset that
illiterate
gave a
with it.
burst of new life to his trailing primary campaign. Bernie Sanders won Michigan. That's right. Merrick Garland will be confirmed. Harry Reid, March 17th, 2016. I'm confident he is going to get approval. Well, that was wrong. The United Kingdom won't vote to leave the EU. Matthew Shattuck, International Business Times. That's right. These were all major failures. And this article is from 2016. Major, major failures. So, good sirs of Real Clear Politics, while I believe you've got a lot
not
of
what I
data
wanna do.
backing up your claims, I think the fundamental changes of internet communications, COVID, the unemployment rate, the mass exodus from major cities, and the secret Trump voter, which I know for a fact exists, are skewing your polls in such a way it may be a magnificent bit of karmic justice for all of these people who think they're smarter and better than everyone else to realize you're wrong. Now, that happened in 2016. Maybe lightning won't strike twice, or maybe we're confused. Maybe it's not lightning striking twice. Maybe it's that the high tide is finally coming in, the waters are rising, and only now are we going to check to see where the level is at. Not that it was a rare occurrence,
Those two
but that it was
Chaz
entirely
guys, they are
predictable.
beefing now.
The secret Trump voter exists because I know many of them. People who say they're terrified to speak up. People who tell me don't let
Which
anyone
Chaz
know
guys?
that I'm supporting Trump. They are.
Which
I have
two Chaz guys are we
celebrities
talking about?
who have messaged me on Twitter saying that they are terrified. If anyone finds out, they will lose all their endorsements. No joke. You think a celebrity who's got endorsements from, these clothing
I
companies,
invited you
Gucci
to
and
a
whatever,
Discord
and these
page
music
that I've had
producers,
for a long
you
time,
think
just
they're
never
going to
used.
keep their job if they come out? No way. Now, it's terrifying, actually. Because if these people did come out and say, you have to vote for Trump, they may risk everything. But they also
Wait,
risk
so you actually don't
winning
like Chaz?
everything.
You thought Chaz was a
That's
joke?
the important point. Maybe you lose your job, but maybe you will finally be able to
Once
call
we
out
predicted
to
with
your
last
supporters
year.
and fans and tell them to do the right thing.
Yeah, the
I
ones that
implore
you
all of those celebrities who have
told me
followed
forever that
to
you're like,
come
"Oh,
out
yeah,
now
it's
and
gonna-
publicly
it's gonna
endorse
be there.
the
It's
president
gonna
if you
go."
believe in him, and tell your supporters to vote for him. If you really think, and I know many of you do,
Fought with
because
you
you've
on that one
messaged
forever.
me saying Trump must win. If he must win, then you must come out and put yourself on the line to stand up for what you believe in and encourage others to be as courageous as you are. I already voted for Trump and the Republicans. It's time for you all to come out and say the same thing and stop being scared.
Oh my God, he's
because
level
if you
26.
truly were worried about
like
a
Jason
Biden
Bourne.
presidency, then you would do what you had to do to make sure Trump won, even if it means risks to your career. You need to come out And you need to use your voice, be it large or small, to tell others you have to vote for Trump. Otherwise, he'll lose. And I want you to remember this as we're entering now the final stretch. I want you to imagine 1 month from now, 1 year from now, what the world may look like with everything you've seen. And I want you to then publicly admit that you could have done more and you chose not to because you were scared. I assure you that is a future you do not want to experience. At the very least, you may risk everything, but speaking up now,
Like, why?
the most
Why are you
important thing you
right
can
here
do,
beside me?
you
faggot?
will never regret.
Of all
It may
rocks.
come down to really awful times in the future, and Trump may still lose. At least that's what they're saying.
How is he not?
But
hitting
maybe
it?
if
Let's
a
just see
wave
if I
of
can get it.
celebrities and high-profile individuals
Come
and
on.
activists and
Yes!
musicians and skateboarders came out
Oh,
right
that
now
is
and said,
glorious.
vote Trump, things would change dramatically. Maybe. I got more segments for you later today. Next one's coming up at 4 p.m. over at youtube.com/Timcast. It is a different
Like,
channel
he'll
from this
win
one.
every
It's my main
other
channel.
one, but
Thanks
it
for hanging
doesn't
out.
matter because I
And I
got
will
that
see
one.
you all there.
That's right. Walk off.
You could be the next
was the
winner at the
greatest thing
Bob Mills
ever.
Veterans Day giveaway when you
It's small victories.
In 2016, Nate Silver of 538 got it wrong. And I'm not talking about the general election. He gave Donald Trump, I believe, a 27% chance of winning. And then when Donald Trump won, he said, I gave him slightly better than 1 in 4. I wasn't wrong. The polls were off. My forecast was correct, and Trump won. Having a 27% chance of winning means very often you actually win. Right now, 538 is giving Donald Trump a 10% chance of winning. The only problem, as I said, he was wrong. But what was he wrong about? Michigan. He said with absolute certainty that Hillary Clinton would defeat Bernie Sanders in Michigan. He couldn't call that race. The polls were a disaster. And right now, the polls are saying Joe Biden is going to win. But for some reason, the wisdom of the crowd suggests Donald Trump will actually win. The wisdom of the crowd
Your best
is when you ask everyone
dumb
what they
lib line
think
is
will
assault
be
style
or
weapons.
what is. And then you
Hey,
kind of get a
fucker, I actually
distributed
thought you
model
were stupid
or
about it.
distributed answer. One person
The fact
probably
that I've
doesn't
been
have all
arguing
the
with
answers.
you on that one
That's why communism doesn't work.
forever.
But a large group of people will
explained
give
it.
you a sort of who wants to be a millionaire, ask the audience distribution. The way it works is if you ask one person who's going to win, they might say Joe Biden. You say, okay, should I trust him? Should I trust Nate Silver? But if you ask 100 people, you might get 60 people saying Joe Biden and 40 people saying Donald
You know
Trump.
how
And then you might say,
frustrating it was?
interesting. What makes them think this? You know, I would take 100 Nate Silvers
Wait,
at
so
their
when are
word,
you
but
actually
one
gonna come
guy
out
who
and tell
happens to be an
people that
expert,
about
I'm
your
not entirely
facade?
convinced he's correct. Well, USC Dornsiff has been asking experimental questions, and I've covered this quite a bit.
I mean, yeah,
this is not
you
the
were
main
the
bulk of what
driving
I want to talk to you
factor.
about. They are
You were the
asking
driving
people
force a lot of
how
times.
they think their friends will vote, and found in the past 5 elections they've tracked, wisdom of the crowd is a better indicator than directly asking someone their intention. Which brings me to what I really want to show you, and it's betting odds. Now I
So
know
you had
betting
that
odds aren't
much
a
fun
guarantee.
pretending
It's just
to be
what
that
people
way?
think, but therein lies the point. If
'Cause you
USC
spent a lot of time
Dornsiff
faking
is
that.
saying wisdom of the crowd is a better indicator, ladies and gentlemen, behold. From DraftKings election pool, only one state thinks
I was
Joe
hoping
Biden
Trump
will
would
be
win so I could have a
president.
breakdown.
In this tweet, they say with over
if you're gonna
350,000
do it
entries,
live on-
a majority of people in every
Or,
state besides
with audio,
Colorado
you better
predict
come up with some
Donald
good
Trump
fake crying.
will be the winner of tomorrow's election. Now, Predict It doesn't say the same thing. They think the odds
Yep.
are favoring Joe Biden. But
Fucking
why
Twitch,
then
man.
is it that Predict It is giving better odds to Donald Trump than 538?
So basically-
And that's the important question I want to look at today.
So
I think regular people
after
are
this
sick and tired of
election,
what's
are you
going
going to
on.
give up
You know,
your
we're
facade?
seeing
Or are you going to
people boarding
eventually?
up their cities,
Are you
New
going to
York,
come out
DC,
like,
all
oh,
across
actually,
America.
guys,
Why?
I'm more libertarian.
It's
I'm
not
not
Donald
really
Trump they're worried about.
a commie.
If you've got regular people boarding up, it stands to reason they
I
understand
am
the real
a
threats
Biden
of the far
guy,
left.
but I'm not that stupid.
I think regular people know Joe Biden is bad. I think there are a lot of blind
So
people.
I got so many
and
questions
I think when
of,
it
like,
comes
what
to
you
betting,
actually believe now, 'cause
people
everything
would
seems
be-
like it's fake.
Well, I'd say people think you're dumb to vote against Donald Trump. I don't know who you should vote against. I don't know who's going to win. But let me tell you this. I believe the polls are wrong for the 800th time. Now, that doesn't mean Joe Biden's going to win or lose. It just means I think the polls are wrong, and guess what? So do all of these people who are making bets. Let's take a look at what's going on. Before we do, head over to timcast.com/donate. If you would like to support my work, there are many ways you can give. Got a P.O. box. You want to send me some stuff. But the best thing you can do, share this video.
I still vote Dim, though.
A lot of people may be relying on these polls. A lot of people may be confused to how Trump won last time. Well, let me explain some things to you and show you what's going on and give you some reasons why it is.
If you wanted to scare
the
moderates
polls may
from
in fact
Antifa,
be
you're
wrong,
just pushing them
and
to
I'll
the
show
right.
you
Why
what
would you
regular
do that?
people actually think. If you think I do a good job and my videos are reasonable, rational, and informative, please consider sharing them to help support my work. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Let's take a look at what's happening. In this image, as I've already shown you, the DraftKings election pool has all of their entries basically saying Trump's going to win in every state, except for Colorado. They say, haven't entered our election poll. It's absolutely free. People are being told to enter this pool, the election pool, through no cost of their own. And they're entering it saying, I think it's going to be Trump. Now, of course,
like
Kyle
thought
Griffin of
you were a hardcore
MSNBC
Antifa
says
supporter.
this is not how data works.
And Chaz is a standing
And
person.
no one's suggesting this is hard data on what's going to happen. It's just people going in saying it's going to be Trump. But take a look at Predicted.
I mean, technically, you could.
Predicted is another betting market, and they say Donald Trump has about a 41% chance of winning. The way this works is you buy shares in an individual, and then once the race is over and the results are in, then it's about 64 cents to $1. So here's what happens. If you put 64 cents down on Joe Biden for one share, Joe Biden wins, you get $1 back. That means if you bet on Donald Trump, you're getting 60 cents for every 40 cents you put down. You're going to put in 41 cents. At least I think that's how it works. I don't really know. The point is, they're saying the odds are slightly better. Well, I'm sorry. The odds are significantly better for Donald Trump in the betting markets. Now, the thing about Predicted, and the reason I show this, is that Predicted actually costs you money, whereas DraftKings, they say, is free. The DraftKings may just be Trump supporters going and spamming every single pool saying, I think it's going to be Trump. But I'm not entirely sure that actually making a bet is free. They say entering our election pool is free with $100K in prizes. So it seems like there's no harm in just, going in there and betting. Maybe. When it comes to how people really feel, like if you ask someone, hey, no pressure, no demands, no requirements, just who do you think is going to win? They say, Trump.
Hello, this is Franklin Graham. Have you voted?
This is Franklin Graham.
If you haven't, please do.
Trump. But when it comes to actually putting money on it, a lot of people are like, I don't know, man. The media, they're saying Joe Biden. Well, let me show you what Nate Silver is saying. Over at Newsweek, what Nate Silver had to say about Trump's chances on election day. 1 day until election. And I will counter this with another story arguing that the media is manipulating people to suppress their vote. Newsweek says, Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden is favored to win the election this Tuesday, according to the latest forecast on Monday by 5:38. However, President Donald Trump still has about a 10% chance of winning the election, says American statistician Nate Silver, the website's founder. According to the latest forecast by 5:38, Biden has a 90% chance of winning the election. But remember, that doesn't mean there isn't still a path for Trump. Trump might be the underdog, and he needs a big polling error in his favor, but bigger polling errors have happened in the past. It's not necessarily true either. There have been a few forecasters who have put out electoral college maps that say these maps show a Trump victory without the polls being wrong. Within the polls and the margin of error, there is a path for Trump. Quote, a 10% chance of winning, which is what our forecast gives Trump, is roughly the same as the odds that it's raining in downtown Los Angeles. And it does rain there. Downtown LA has about 36 rainy days per year, or about a 1 in 10 shot of a rainy day. Pennsylvania could make or break the election. Recent polls have shown Biden to be leading in Pennsylvania. However, it has been a narrow lead, Silver noted Sunday. According to our forecast, Pennsylvania is the most likely tipping point state. And a lot of Biden's chances in the Electoral College hinge on what happens in Pennsylvania.
I don't think you know that.
He leads Trump there by about 5
Did you not
points
see
in our
that
polling average.
huge
But it's not as large a
gathering,
margin
like
as Biden
was
might
it
like.
57,000
The
people
results
in
of the
Pennsylvania?
latest Reuters Ipsos weekly poll published Sunday, conducted
This
among
Democrat
1,006
newspaper that
adults,
hasn't endorsed
673 likely
hasn't
voters
endorsed a
in
Republican
Pennsylvania from October 27th
candidate
to
in,
November
like,
1st, showed
can't remember
51%
how many, like,
would vote for Biden,
60,
while
70 years.
54% would vote
What
for
was it,
Trump.
the Pennsylvania
The poll had a
something?
credibility interval of 4 points,
God.
which means
so no, I don't
well
know
within
that,
the margin
that
of
Biden's
error.
going to actually
We don't
win.
know what's going to happen. Everybody wants to tell you they do know what's going to happen, and I think that's just hubris. Now I want to show you something
Exactly,
funny
Tim.
about
I think
predictors.
it's hubris.
When you come here, they say, here are the rules.
I do know it all. Oh
Okay,
my
here we go.
God.
Predictor may
ROUS
determine
is-
how to settle the market, blah, blah, blah. Their decisions. Okay, I'm not going to, the rules are meaningless. But let's scroll down to what I really wanted to show
I do
you.
know also there's some
A
telling
comment
you
that I
this
thought
race
was
was
really
over
funny.
in March.
One user
Why
said,
was over in March?
posted a screenshot
Because of COVID?
of a poll. In general, do you think more of your neighbors are voting for Joe Biden or Donald Trump? Likely
My
voters
next door
said
neighbor is a Trump sign.
Biden,
Or not,
39%.
Trump flag.
Trump, 48%. There you go. Nobody wants to admit they're voting for Trump. And Nate Silver is adamant. There is no secret Trump voter. Drop it. It's not real. I disagree. Because I know them. Because I have friends in my life who are like, please don't tell anybody. I will be destroyed.
Smartest things we
I know
did on the left
celebrities and
was
musicians
stop
and pop
the BLM
culture icons
protests
who
and
said
shooting.
I
That
would
was
lose
Trump's
all of
last
my
chance.
endorsement deals.
What are you talking about?
if
It's still
anyone
been
found
happening.
out. I was in Hollywood about 2 years ago, maybe. And I met
Dude,
a
Pittsburgh's
B,
been going
C-list
nuts
celebrity,
with the
TV
last
show
shooting.
actor, moderately well known. And someone
The riots
said,
aren't
this guy's
under
voting
really
for Trump. He's like,
control.
come on, shh. You get me fired. No joke. That person wouldn't even tell his friends. Like, shh, no one can know. We were in private. Trump
You had the first night of riots this last
That's what
week of the
at least
Pittsburgh,
that's what I think.
where
Now,
it was like
interestingly,
30-something cops were injured
There's,
into
according
in
to
it,
Real Clear
and
Politics, Trump
burning
is
down
not
buildings,
accelerating like he was
all because
in
a guy was
2016.
running at
They
the
say,
cops with
you
a
know, in
knife.
2016, as we got closer to Election Day, Trump was
I don't
improving.
think you do have it under control.
And then he sealed the deal. The polls were wrong, but he was improving. He says, that's not happening today.
It's
Well,
hard to have something in
I
control that was
disagree.
always
Take a look
majorly
at this.
peaceful.
Donald's not
It's
done yet.
overwhelmingly
Trump
peaceful.
narrows
There's
gap
no
to
problems.
6 points across 12 battleground states and raises
And
prospect of a late
Portland still,
upset,
like, they're arresting
despite
people all
being
the
ahead
time
by
in
10
Portland.
points nationally. Well, Trump isn't ahead 10 points nationally. Biden is. They should probably phrase that better. But Trump is narrowing the gap. So he is
It's
accelerating.
much smaller. June was
And at 6
problematic because
points,
it happened in
that's
every city.
arguably within the margin of error. I mean, Biden support
I
could
think
be
you still
lower,
got a
Trump
lot of
support
people
could
that
be
are
higher,
scared. All
but
these first-time gun
we'll
owners.
see. If they're as wrong as they were right now,
And
in
then Biden
2016,
coming out saying
Trump would
he's
still
going to go
lose.
for the assault weapons
It may
ban.
be that they're even more wrong than ever. I don't know.
I think
I don't
you
know
just
why I
added a
should
whole
trust
lot
the
of
polls.
newcome
I don't know why I should
first-time
trust the
buyers of
media
guns that are going to
anymore.
go,
And therein lies the big
no thanks
point.
there, buddy.
The main point. If the media is going to lie about
Unless
so
you know
much,
I'm more moderate.
then
Will
why
you
should I
admit the
believe their
Supreme Court
polling is
nomination
true
was
and
bad
correct?
taste should have waited?
You see?
No. He duly
I think it
elected
was
a
maybe Matt
president
Taibbi or Glenn Greenwald. I'm not
that
sure.
has happened
I think it was Matt Taibbi
29
said
different
Trump
times
is
in election
the,
year.
Most lying president.
And in
the
that
most
time
lied
frame,
about president.
Ruth Bader
Not a day goes
Ginsburg
by, I don't see
was
some
appointed
ridiculous
and
lie
put
in the
in
media.
42 days.
Right now, there's a story from the
Less
Daily Beast that says
time
Trump's
than it was
camp
for
is sweating. They're going to lose.
when
and I'm just wondering,
the possibility came up
who are you
to put
talking
Amy
to?
Coney Barrett in.
It's real. There's an image of Trump with like sweat coming off, and it was
Amy
like
Coney Barrett,
Trump
as
surrogates,
far
and Trump
as a
seemed to be
candidate,
really
was
nervous. They know they're
was a
gonna
perfectly
lose.
legit candidate.
And I'm like,
Or
the
a
people
appointee,
who I know who are connected to the Trump campaign
very highly praised.
are not sweating. In fact, they have a bigger
Why are you so
problem.
upset against putting a woman
Hubris.
in a position of power?
Yeah. The people I talk to who know and are around the Trump circles are gloating.
I'm not
and
saying I wouldn't be
laughing. We're
mad
gonna
if
win,
Hillary
and we
did
know
it.
Sorry.
Because it's just one of those
If they
situations
lose,
that
it will
it's
be
like,
because of-
fuck,
it will
like,
be
God,
because of
they put in
hubris,
3.
Not be.
I can understand being mad about it, going this fucking sucks. He's got to put in 3, and he got another one right before he's about to leave. I can understand being upset about it, but the deal is to say that it's not legit. You're wrong. You're just wrong. And to think that Democrats wouldn't have done it, oh, they would have. It's amazing to see what the lengths Democrats are willing to go to try to get their way into court. Look what they did to Brett Kavanaugh just to try to keep him out. How they destroyed that man's name. They ran him through the ringer, called him a gang raper, all that shit that came out. Now, Democrats would have done the exact same thing. It was duly pointed. Like I said, you can be mad about it. You can be upset like it sucks because that's the name of the game. That Trump and Republicans got lucky that they elected a president and got a president in where, they didn't know at the time, but was going to open up 3 Supreme Court seats. That's just the luck of the draw. That's just how it happens. in terms of my views, I'm lean moderate. I did not like Bernie. I wanted any Dem except him. Hillary's just so corrupt. I wanted anyone but her. I mean, when I was in the military, if I would have done just a fraction of what she did, as far as having her own private server and sending classified information through that server, I'd been put in jail. I'd never be seen again. What she did, she should be in jail for. She violated the rules so hard. And I'm actually pro gun control, but I did shoot a gun before at summer camp. I do have a tiny knowledge of them. Well, so you still want the exact same gun control, just a shotgun? Ugh. You need to go shoot more.
Because they're worried and panicked and sweating. Or at the very least, they really do think they're going to win. And maybe it's because of lawsuits, or maybe it's because the polls are wrong. I can't tell you, but they do think so. Trump, there's like one news story where he was walking off stage and he goes, "Let's end this." Trump thinks he's going to win. And Trump wins. I mean, look at his life.
Look at his life. Trump is used to winning a lot.
But we do have one reason to suggest why the polls may be wrong. Take Nigel Farage, the architect of Brexit. They said Brexit would never happen. For those who aren't familiar, it's when Britain left the European Union. They said it will never happen.
Way, yes.
No one's going to vote for this.
That's the thing I'm most
And then
wrong.
they did. And then it got jammed up in Parliament. They were trying to leave the EU,
well,
but
that's probably your weakest as
and
a
then
Democrat.
Something wonderful happened.
That is
for the people
probably
of the
one of
UK.
your foundational
December
arguments that has
13th,
become
I believe,
the
2019.
weakest. With the
Conservatives
millions and
won
millions of
so
first-time gun owners that's
resoundingly
happened in this
that
year
certain
alone,
areas that hadn't voted
and a lot of them are
left
people
in nearly 90
that
years
they never owned a gun before.
Shocking.
And in
everyone.
blue areas
The
like
polls
California,
certainly
Los
did
Angeles,
not predict it. The polls were off.
I think you're
But the
gonna.
polls did
I think you're in for a rude
expect
awakening
conservatives, the
of
Tories in the UK to win. They just thought that the left
of
would be able to
what
form a
a
coalition.
lot
and
of
have the
Democrats
majority.
probably changed on.
Nope.
I mean, first of
Not
all,
what happened?
Antifa and Black Lives Matter, these violent groups that have come up, are actually real big supporters of guns. So you have them on what they like guns. They're going to vote to have guns. Then you have all these new, and especially women. A lot of, like, the big majority of these first-time gun buyers are women and suburban women. And guess what? Suburban women don't often vote for Republicans. That's just fact. That's what the big worry has been for Trump, that like is winning the women's vote. So you now got a whole bunch of women that want guns or bought guns, and you got Joe Biden that says, "I'm going to take them away. I'm going to give you gun control." What do you think is going to happen to their vote? I don't think that looks good for them.
People of the UK said Brexit again 3 years later. So why should I believe the media, and why shouldn't I take the word of Nigel Farage for what he's saying? He planned Brexit, and he won. Here's what he's saying now. Mainstream media using polls to suppress Trump turnout. Quote, "I think that polling is often used by the establishment as a way of disincentivizing the other side to go out and vote. Mainstream media polls showing Joe Biden with a wide lead are failing to accurately gauge support for Trump and are being used to suppress Trump voter turnout, according to Brexit architect Nigel Farage. Farage, the British politician who led an underdog movement to remove the UK from the European Union, said he believes Trump will win despite current polls, just like in 2016. Quote, "I think that polling is often used by the establishment as a way of disincentivizing the other side to go out and vote,"
Harm the U.S. is burning.
Farage said on
No,
Just the News AM
Biden's
television
not
show.
moderate.
The morning of Brexit, there was a
wants
poll
gun
released
control.
that said remain in the EU.
And when you
we're
want to
10
take away
points ahead, and it was done
I want you to
very simply
understand
to say,
that what Biden says, "I'm going to take your assault rifles away," which, as we know, assault rifle is a made-up term. It's not a real term to describe any real weapon or describe any real firearm. What he basically means is a catch-all to do semi-automatic rifles. You can look at this one policy, and he says he's going to move to take them away. That will start a war. That will start a legit civil war where you have millions of Americans. They go, "All right, let's do this. Let's fight." Me included. I'd be there. I need 14. You're not going to take away assault weapons. And people aren't going to let it happen. So literally one of the things he's calling for would alone start a civil war if he tried to enact it. So by that one standard, he's not a moderate. He wants to raise taxes immediately coming on. He wants to cancel Trump's tax plan, which Trump's tax plan, yeah, helps small businesses, but at the same time, it's been the biggest middle class tax cut in I don't know how many decades or ever. Like the average middle class person was saved like $2,000 in taxes. Oh, Smithing level 3, look at that. God, just getting so good. Boop. Do 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 do. Where'd it go? Bush Jr. I had paid attention enough when it was Bush Jr. Biden's not going to raise tax on middle, it's corporate and high income. If he removes Trump's tax plan, he's literally going to be taxing the middle class more. Like, that's it. Because his tax plan helped the middle class people. It helped tax them less. Damn it. I know I sure got a hell of a lot more back on my taxes this year. It's actually pretty nice. It should just be a system where you don't give the government anything extra. Shit. I gotta go pick up my kiddo pretty soon. Disorganized and lacks vision. What does that mean? How is he disorganized? And what vision does he exactly lack? He's literally, in his presidency, he's literally ending wars. He's bringing people back from the Middle East. He's been the first president in 20, 30 years that has not started or been a part of a new war in a new country. And there's been three historic peace agreements with Muslim countries and Israel that have never happened before. What vision is he lacking? And yeah, I don't really exactly like the whole thing that happened. I'm not a big fan of Kim Jong-un, but at the same time, he went over to North Korea and has done something that no president has done in how long? Has met with a leader from North Korea in decades. Like, I'm not saying I necessarily like it, but when I look at it, I go, by God, he's doing something that no other president's done and is actually getting something to happen. No long-term plan, for example, Obama, Biden, Clinton all had serious written, thought-out plans. Trump does not. Regarding what? Like, regarding what? The deal is, I don't want the federal government to have plans, because if the federal government has plans, it means they have plans to control my life. Just like the Medicare stuff. I don't care if they had plans for healthcare. I don't want it. I don't want the federal healthcare. I want the federal government to stay as far out of my life as possible, especially when it comes to my healthcare. The job of the federal government isn't to have plans, unless it's a military strategy. The federal government's job is to let everyone else have their own plans and to do their own thing.
It's the Bob Mills Veterans Day giveaway, and you could be the next winner. All you have to do is spin.
Make it easier where we can manufacture and create our own stuff.
Now, during the
When they
Veterans Day
campaign,
giveaway, everyone
like he's literally built our economy up.
Spin and win.
That was his plan. Build the economy up. Stop paying a bunch of needless shit like for the Paris Climate Accords, wasting money on that. Making trade deals better for the United States. Actually got Mexico to secure their border a lot more. Involve the Mexican army where we don't have to depend on border patrol so much. Oh, you're way more modern than I am. Well, wait, hold on. I don't know, Mario, you're just more left. Ooh. Oh, broom, damn it. Dude, the climate change hoax, do some work, do some investigation on that. Like, literally, we're in an interglacial period. I mean, the climate changes all the time. We go in and between and out of these ice age, basically, type things. We're in an interglacial period where the climate is not doing anything outside the norm. And the fact is, the planet has never been greener because of the amount of carbon dioxide. The fact that we're pulling up carbon that was put into the earth millions of years ago and using it now and burning it, which even then all it takes is one volcano to go off and to outdo anything the human race has done. But more carbon in the atmosphere makes the earth greener. My two biggest issues with the Republicans are guns and the environment. The thing is acting like that climate change, that human causing climate change. You know how much of the atmosphere? Oh, I can't pick it up. Damn it. I can't pick up anything that other players drop. That sucks. The whole environment thing is, it's a scare tactic, and you and everyone else or a lot of other people have bought into it. Everything revolves around fear on the Democrat Party. We gotta take their guns because if we don't, then everyone's gonna die. You're gonna get killed by guns. If we don't do something about the environment, we're gonna die in 10 years. I think I'd be more considerate if a candidate like Cruz or Rubio, example, if they changed guns and environment. Well, let me tell you something. Environment's changed by itself. If anything, we're making the earth greener with more carbon. So, you should help the earth. You should care about the earth where you want plants to grow. And put more carbon there. Carbon is food for plants. Stop killing plants. I'm pro-capitalism. Dave Ramsey. Get your finances in order. It's just we need to stop crony capitalism. You know, if you're worried about crony capitalism and corruption, I would be upset at a lot of Democrats. I think you need to be calling out some Democrats and not sort of worry about corporations being corrupt. And I mean, that's the fact. If you truly believe in crony capitalism where people are corrupt and are capable of being corrupt by money, then you should not want to give power to the government. Because guess what? Those are people too that are just as easy to be corruptible. I just don't understand. Pro-environment, nah. I mean, it's more millennial. The Generation Z or whatever after's millennial has been more conservative. Is showing more signs of being conservative. Oh, look at that. One little yeller. Pro-choice. Nah, I'm not pro-choice. I'm not pro-murder of babies. So, guns. Immigration. Where are you on immigration?
Worried about healthcare? You should be.
I'm not.
Because
I got my healthcare. I have a job. And it's nice.
Cancer patients, even COVID-19 survivors. Tony Gonzalez, que sinvergüenza.
Far right? No, not absolutely. I just consider myself a conservative. Because far right are usually what you call a neo-Nazi and somebody who wants white supremacy and all that kind of jazz. I believe in state power. I'm a constitutionalist of what I believe the Constitution was written and how the Founding Fathers set it up, and for a minimal federal government. I don't like ICE. Once they're here, they don't commit crime, they can stay. Then that's literally every person in the world could come to the United States and try to live that way. And if every person, even if a quarter of the world came to the United States, we would falter. We don't have the resources. So I don't understand how you plan on having... You're okay with border patrol, so you're of the idea of having border security, and if you come in illegally, or even if you come in legally and then break your agreement, like, you know, your visa, your stay, and then the ICE is the ones that send out for people that have broken their agreement and have not left the country. So I'm confused on how you would, what you actually believe is for an immigration policy. I don't know why you're necessarily against ICE. We can't just split families for no reason. Yeah, I mean, here's what you're failing to see. Every single day they catch thousands of people crossing the border. And many of the times, not just like small amounts, like I'm talking like 50% of the time almost, kids are not with their parents. They're not with their family. Women and children are sex trafficked. What the hell is going on? Stupid Ed. That they're not with their parents, and that's the whole point. They split the families up so they can question the kids and question the people, so they can make sure that these kids are with their parents or not. Because these kids are often sex trafficked. Do you enjoy children getting raped and sold into sexual slavery? Because that is exactly what Border Patrol helps prevent. Yeah, I support a pathway to citizenship. You come to the border, you go through legal paperwork. We have a pathway to citizenship. We have it. Most people just don't like to follow through with it. The hell?